Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy, beautiful Sunday morning to you. This is Rob the Mad Hatter from the biggest show in the world, the hashtag SBTVNation, talking to my boy, the evil genius of Major League Baseball, Mr. Dr. Dan Kidd. What's up?
What's up, man? I'm just happy to be back at my church.
Oh.
I love this, man. I got the congregation out there in the nation. I'm asking for a little reprieve from yesterday. We got punched in the mouth, but that's all right because we're going to come back and get it today.
Oh,
I mean, there was just some craziness out there with, so many challenges going down. And, you got the Phillies winning again.
Yes.
Like almost plus 200 on the money line. Insanity. We got the kickoff of the NFL 2015 season, 2015-2016.
Oh, yeah. The Hall of Fame game is tonight, player.
Hall of Fame game. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be thrown down on that. God bless you.
Yeah, we'll talk about the do's and don'ts about the NFL preseason. Mostly the don'ts.
Yeah, guys, look, the NFL preseason. I mean, look. I know today a lot of you got that line on the Vikings. They might play some of their starters. But, there's let's just jump right into it. There's some things that you still have to be worried about. If you read the comments from the coach of the Vikings, he did not game plan at all for this.
Yeah.
He said, this is the first of 5. He just wants to go out there and fling it around a little bit, see what his guys can do. So I know that the Steelers are starting next to nobody.
Yeah,
but
right.
At a line of -3.5, you got to be worried about that. You got to buy it down to 3 if you're going to mess with it, guys.
Absolutely, guys. So real quick, just going right into that Pittsburgh Steelers and Minnesota Vikings game here. Big Ben is not going to be playing. Le'Veon Bell's not going to be playing. Antonio Brown, Maurice Pouncey, Heath Miller, James Harrelson, none of them are going to be playing tonight. And you already know they had a couple of players retire. Palomalu's gone, Ike Taylor's gone now. So you're not getting anybody whatsoever if you're taking the Pittsburgh Steelers, man.
Even though I got this crazy thing real quick where if I could put a wager on it, I would. I think if the Steelers actually are making noise and looking like to win that division, I could see Palomalu coming back in like week 8, 9, or 10.
No way. For real? You think so?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, if you basically got, which I think that the Steelers, look, I've never been a Bengals guy. Even recently, I'm not a Dalton guy at all. I think he's terrible. I'm not a big Flacco guy.
Yep.
And, I still think that, the Ravens and the Steelers probably 1A, 1B in coaching in that division. And then, I think Roethlisberger's still the best quarterback in that division. I think they put enough pieces together. If they get close and they need some secondary help, I don't know why, man. I just have this gut feeling that he'll go out there and make another run.
Unbelievable.
Like week 8, 9, or 10.
Hey, we'll see what happens with that, man. But as far as this game is concerned, Dan, you think Bridgewater's going to get any action, any snaps?
He might get a series, man. He might get a series.
Okay.
And I know that the Vikings, second team is better, I think, than, some of the players that Pittsburgh will be out. But, and the question is, is AP going to be running in this game?
Oh, that's a really good question.
And I haven't found that out yet. And I know that they have some really good backups out there. But, like I said, they haven't game planned at all. They probably know who's playing where, but I haven't seen that released yet, obviously. I don't know, man. There's too many unanswered questions. I almost never play the preseason. The only preseason games I sometimes play are the week 3 games where you're putting in your starters for 3+ quarters.
Right.
Those are the only ones I sometimes play, in all fairness. I know there's some guys that are really good at the preseason. If you want to play it, I'd listen to those guys that are out there.
Dan, what would you rather do? Play a preseason football game in the early stages or bet a no-score first inning?
Oh, God. You know what? I'd have to go no-score first inning.
Really?
If I had to, at least I know the no-score first inning. You know, like let's say I go out there and it's like Scherzer versus Harvey, right? Or Scherzer, DeGrom, something like that. At least I know I'm putting my money on a decent outcome where my guys are out there. But if I have to bet a week one, not even week one, a pre-week one because it's the Hall of Fame game, preseason game, I don't even know in the fourth quarter. I mean, maybe Mike Tomlin will be out there throwing passes.
Yeah, right. No opinion there, guys, whatsoever. So I'm going to be watching it, though, for sure. I'm going to be watching. There's a lot of NFL starting, man. So we got, this is tonight, Sunday night. Then on Thursday, I believe there's like at least 5 games, Dan.
Yeah. I gotta look at I'm pulling up the schedule right now, but it is really starting to pop off. You got Hall. They're calling it Hall of Fame week now.
Hall of Fame week, nice.
Yeah, I just saw it on NFL.com. They're calling it Hall of Fame week. So yeah, you got Sunday. You got this. Obviously Steelers Vikings tonight. Where is? Oh, here we go. Week 1 of the preseason. So yeah, the next game.
Thursday and Friday there's games, and Sunday all day. And, speaking of while he's looking that up, guys, we have go ahead.
Yeah, so Saints-Ravens or Thursday starts at 7:30, which is nice. 7:30 Eastern.
Yep.
So you got the Saints. And then as well, you got a number of games Thursday. So you got Saints at Ravens.
Yep.
Jets at Lions, which should be interesting. Packers at Patriots. Redskins at Browns. Dolphins at Bears. And then you got a nightcap of Cowboys at Chargers. So you got games 7:30, 8, and 10 on Thursday. And then Friday, you have Titans, Falcons, Panthers, Bills, Giants, Bengals, Steelers again. So that's why they're also playing nobodies, because they play again Friday. So Steelers, Jaguars, Rams, Raiders, Broncos, Seahawks. And then again, you got actually 3 games Saturday and only 1 game Sunday. The Saturday games are Bucks, Vikings, 49ers, Texans, Chiefs, Cardinals. And then the Sunday, August 16th game is Colts at Eagles.
Wow, very interesting, man. I'm looking forward to it, guys. We got a hell of a lineup coming up this week, man. Monday, we have Mr. Kurt Lauderdale's coming on. He's going to be talking about some golf. I guess there's some big stuff going on, big events in the golfing world. So looking forward to
the Open. You got a major coming up, so that should be really interesting. Not sure, there's the whole thing of whether McIlroy will play, coming off that Achilles injury. Whether Spieth can win 3 out of 4 after coming so close to the British. So yeah, I'll be listening to that. I'm excited to hear what you guys got to say.
Absolutely. And then Thursday, I got my man Uncle Lou. Gamblu is coming on Thursday, and it's perfect timing for him because he's an NFL guy, man. He's been in the business.
He's an NFL guy too, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he does the preseason, but he's been in the business for a very, very, very long time, and he always comes on, and Uncle Lou always breaks the knowledge. That'll be Thursday's show, man. And then we got Freaky Friday, and then next Saturday we're gonna have a roundtable again with 3 new guests. I'm looking forward to it on Saturday. So we're going from there. But today is Sunday, Dan, and we got to get into the MLBs and figure this whole thing out because yesterday was a little bit ugly, man. I gotta be honest with you. After all the plays that everybody talked about, the only thing I got on was the LA Angels over 7, and I lost.
Dude, Ubaldo Jimenez shut out on the road. Unreal at the Angels.
I know.
And there were like challenges in that game. There should have been more runs scored. I mean, hey, look, it is what it is. But look, I'll admit, that punched me in the face. That was a lock for me. When I saw that at 7, I was just mind-blown shocked. And if you told me that Baltimore was going to score 5 runs, I'd say we would have killed the over, by 3 or 4 runs.
Yep, exactly.
Hey, it is what it is. But at least, we got that Pittsburgh win, and we did get the over in the San Francisco-Chicago game. I thought that number was low, too. So, hey, it is what it is. But there's some really good value out there on the card today.
Oh, cool, man. Cool deal, dude.
Let's hit it, man.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. It was a light play for me, so whatever. It is what it is, kid. But let's move right into it and see what we got going on. And big shout-out to everybody that's been invited to the block party. Guys, listen, you see any negativity on your wall as far as social media is concerned, it's called a block button. Just invite them to the block party, that's all, and keep it moving. That's all we're going to be doing here at the biggest show in the world. So let's get right into it, Dan, and see what we got going on.
Let's do it, man.
I'm going to be going on a sailboat today, Dan. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to have some cigars, some drinks, and just kind of chill. I'm going to get my plays in early and go from there. So
you got a radio on that boat?
I do not. I don't think. I don't know.
Because my favorite thing in the world, man, is sometimes I will go outside like you. I enjoy a good cigar, have a little glass of whiskey, and I'll keep that radio on like old time. You know, something about it brings you back.
Yep. Thank you. All right, man. So taking a look at this, we've got the first game of the day is a 1:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start. We got the Toronto Blue Jays, who have been owning the New York Yankees, man. Toronto has Marco Estrada, and the New York Yankees have Masahiro Tanaka. The New York Yankees minus 130 with an under-over of 8.5 runs. Dan.
And this line has taken a huge hit. I've been up for a few hours already, and I saw this line on my book of choice at the Yankees were minus 155.
Yep.
Now they're minus 130. I locked in Toronto already because look, I know that we're looking at the matchup, and you got Tanaka. Tanaka has been mediocre this year, and everybody knows, look, he's got the elbow that it will eventually need surgery. Some days he looks brilliant, some days he looks, okay. And then Estrada actually has the better ERA. He's 9-6 with a 3.4, while Tanaka's 8-4 with a 3.84. In his last 3 starts, Tanaka's given up a 3 spot, a 4 spot, and a 3 spot against Baltimore, Texas, and Boston. He is 4-1 in his last 7, but with a 4.57 ERA. And he's walked more guys than he normally does. His whip is actually good at a 1.1. But I don't know, man. And then you have Estrada, who in his last 2 starts against Kansas City and Minnesota, he only gave up 2 earned and 1 earned, respectively. He's got almost a 1.5 ERA lower over his last 7 starts than Tanaka. Again, this line looks off to me. I got to go with the Toronto Blue Jays, and I got them locked at plus 120.
Wow, interesting, Dan. Very interesting.
They're going to sweep them. I mean, look, it's right there. If they do that, you got to realize Toronto's 60-52. The Yankees are 61-48. They'll tie the Yankees in the win column today if they sweep.
Very interesting, dude. I think that's a lot of balls, kid. I wish you the best of luck with that. For me, I'm falling back from this game. I was looking at it yesterday and looking at the just the Yankees' demeanor, man. And Toronto just seems like they got the little bit of swagger, man. So,
I know, but you still got guys on the Yankees that have ultimately been there before. You still have a lot of guys that have won things, been to the playoffs. They're not worried about losing 2 out of 3. They're not a team, I don't think, that will, panic.
Yep.
Going, because they tie, the division's tied or whatever it is. But the other thing, I have to go with the over in this game too, of 8.5.
Okay, I could see that.
The thing is, and this is just really I'm looking at stats, but the last 2 games haven't gone to statistical form, so it's really gut. I just feel like with the first 2 games going under, something's got to give. These teams have the 2 most potent offenses in the major leagues lately. Right. And the Yankees have been a little bit of a funk, so I think that the Blue Jays win this game, 7-5, something like that.
Okay, sounds good, man. Well, the total's going under in 10 of the last 12 Yankees games at home, Dan.
I know, which is just...
Wow.
To me, that's an aberration. I watch a lot of Yankees games.
Yep.
Just obviously because they're on local TV, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, the ball flies out of there, and you're going to have a good weather day. It's going to be nice. It's early. The ball seems to fly better in the daytime. I really think with the Blue Jays, both teams have held 2 low runs. I just feel like this game they're going to bust out.
Okay, well you got 8.5 there, man.
Yeah, and 8.5 is fine. I was actually expecting it to be 9.5.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, let's go to the next one here, man. So I don't know if I like this game, dude. I think I'm going to stay away from it, to be honest with you. We got the Boston Red Sox at the Detroit Tigers. Boston with Henry Owens and Detroit Justin Verlander. Detroit minus 133 with an under-over of, Dan, 9 runs.
Yeah. And
wow.
I'll be the first to say that I'm an idiot not following my fade Wade Miley. I just felt like after watching the Tigers implode, in their dugout the other day, that I just had to take them no matter what. I mean, I would have taken them with, the worst team, any team against them yesterday.
Yep.
So, that's my bad. And they did end up losing by a run, and I couldn't believe that the Tigers actually came back. They got up off the mat and came back in that game after Boston took an early lead. It just shows how pathetic Wade Miley is.
Oh, big time.
He's garbage. And today doesn't really get much better. I mean, they have a first-round draft pick making his second start. His first start was at the Yankees. He lasted 5 innings, and he was all right. 5 hits, 3 earned. And then you have Verlander, and who the hell knows what you're going to get with him. He had 2 starts on the road in a row, at Boston and at Tampa, where he only gave up an earned run in each game. And then he got demolished by Kansas City. In his last 7, he's 1-3 with a 4.76.
Oh, I know. He's been bad.
I want to take the over in this game, but I can also see Verlander going out there. I mean, he dominated the Red Sox last time. I can see him doing it again, and I'm not taking that risk. So
you're going to stay away from it?
Yeah.
You're going to stay away.
2 garbage teams.
Yeah,
2 garbage teams, and it's just too unpredictable.
That's a tough one to call, man. I don't know. I wouldn't want to get involved in that either, to be honest with you.
If the over-under was 8, not 8.5, I think I would take it. Because I could see Detroit really having a field day here. But the thing is I really do lean Detroit. I almost want to pop on him, but Verlander's still unpredictable to me. He's still too much of an unknown.
I totally get it, Dan. Totally get it. So let's move over to the next one and see what we got, because I don't like that game at all. Got Minnesota at Cleveland. How about Cleveland, man, yesterday?
Yeah,
putting up more. They put up more points than the Browns.
Oh my God! I want to see if we can bet that. That's a preseason NFL bet I'll make. Who scores more points? Do the Cleveland Browns break 17 in their first preseason? Well,
you got a team total on that, so you can take a look at it. With Johnny Football looked crazy awful in that practice game they had at scrimmage versus themselves. Oh my God, it was brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
You know who else looked awful in that team scrimmage the other week was Jameis, dude. Oh God, he threw 3 picks in a scrimmage.
Oh my God.
So we'll see, but I'm not. I have a feeling that's going to be Jamarcus Russell all over again.
You think so, huh?
Keep Jamarcus Russell. I love Jameis, dude. I've met the dude. He's actually a nice dude, easy to talk to. But there's something about it. I mean, he could overcome it, but I really didn't like the way he ended his college, career.
Yeah, pretty bad.
I really felt like, it really opened up some flaws on his game to me. And I feel like Tampa Bay, took a risk. He's staying in Florida, which I don't know is the best thing for him either. But hey, it is what it is. Back to Minnesota and Cleveland. We have Phil Hughes on the mound for the Twinkies, 10-7 with a 4.14, and Kluber 6-12 with a 3.60. He's just been a victim of circumstance, but he's been mediocre. He hasn't obviously been Cy Young. Phil Hughes has gotten demolished in his last 2 games, but he did throw a shutout against the Yankees the game before that. So, there's that. And then Kluber's been absolutely god-awful too.
Yeah.
Home against the White Sox, remember, 8 hits, 6 earned. He had that good game against Kansas City where he pitched a complete game.
Yep.
Great game. But then he went out and got bombed by the Halos. Only lasted 5 2/3, gave up 10 hits and 5 earned. Look, here's the thing. I have a pretty big series play on the Twins. And after what happened yesterday, I'm just like, I don't know. So I was thinking about possibly hedging here.
Okay. Makes sense.
Because, but Kluber at minus 165, that's insane to me. Look, what Cleveland did yesterday, and I understand the Twins have been giving up some runs, but Phil Hughes, look, look, he hasn't been absolutely terrible. He had that one bad start against Seattle, great start against the Yankees, and then at Toronto, he only gave up 3 earned, which that offense is amazing. So I don't really look at that too much. And he's been okay on the road. You know, Kluber, on the other hand, like I said, I mean, he's been pretty bad.
Got it. Got it.
I want to ride the Twins here at plus 150 because I've been fading Kluber all year and been making money on it. So.
Yeah, I know you have.
But that's really a personal, like, really gambly play.
Yeah, don't follow that, guys. Don't follow that. You know, hey, do your own thing, Dan. Hey, I wish you the best of luck if you do it.
Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, look, I got the series play anyway. I was just hoping that, you know, Kluber would be a little more down to earth. Like, minus 165 just makes no sense to me on him.
Well, I see why, man. Because, you know, 7 games. Kluber, like you said, very inconsistent, man. You know, like you said, complete game versus K-Sizzle and then getting blown up by the Angels. But
yeah, and the thing to me is if you look at the losses that the Twins got handed, you know, they did win. You know, they split that series at home against the Mariners, which isn't great, but, you know, 2-2 on that series. Then they had to go to Toronto and they got swept in a 4-game series.
Yeah.
So, you know, getting destroyed by the Blue Jays, and if you think about it in those games, yeah, the first 2, 5-1 and 3-1, but then they did put up a 7 spot and a 3 spot. They just got blasted for 9 runs. So
I don't know, man. That's an ugly game.
Scoring. Yep. I think they hit Kluber around today, man.
Okay. All right, man. I wish you the best of luck with it. I'm going to stay away from that because I did see what Kluber did against the Kansas City Royals and, you know, at home. So, you know, Kansas City's a pretty damn good lineup. Yep. All right, so we got your New York Mets at the Tampa Bay Rays, kid. The game went over pretty fast yesterday, huh?
Yeah, first inning.
Damn, first inning over, man. New York Mets have Bartolo Colon. Yep, New York Mets have Bartolo Colon. Tampa Bay, Chris Archer, under/over 6.5, Dan. Wow. With Tampa Bay minus 175.
Yeah,
I don't think they got any business giving anybody minus 175, especially your New York Mets.
Look, I know Archer has been lights out. I mean, his last 2 home starts were against Baltimore and Detroit. He gave up 1 earned against Baltimore and struck out 9. He shut out Detroit and struck out 11, lasting 6 and 7 innings apiece. But in his last 7 starts, he's 1-4. with a 3.74 ERA.
Got it.
That's Archer, okay? And then Colon has been bad too. His last 7, he's 1-5 with a 4.54. But 2 out of his last 3 starts, remember, at Miami, he was dominant. He scattered 7 hits over 8 innings and gave up 1 run. And then, remember that home game against the Dodgers? He lasted 8 innings, only gave 5 hits and 1 earned. What happened against San Diego, look, that happens sometimes. Colon is also really good at throwing in a dome, like inside.
Okay.
Like that, it just really works to his advantage. And I know Archer's been good. Look, I kind of want to take this at plus 1.5 for the Mets.
Plus 1.5.
Yeah.
So you'd be like a minus 135 or something like that?
Something
if you did
like
that? Okay.
Yeah, it'd be something like that. Here's the thing. Again, I have a lot on the Mets series play, and I thought they were going to win the first 2. But, you know, hey, things happen. Colon I'm not too worried about him. I think being a veteran pitcher really works to his advantage here because he's seen what's happened the first 2 games of the series. And there's stay away from Grady Sizemore, you know, basically. Yeah. And I don't know if Kiermaier's playing either today, who's their stud center fielder. He almost lost his thumb in the game yesterday on a bad slide.
Damn.
It will look really bad. I know he stayed in the game, but I don't know if he's playing, and that's a big bump. So I think Colon actually has the advantage, and the Mets have just been chugging along. You know, they're hot enough. They have guys that have faced Archer before in Cespedes and Uribe. So, you know what? I mean, I think I like the plus 1.5 at minus, 130 to 140. But I have a big series planning too, so I'm just going to sit back and hope.
Okay, sounds good, man. Colorado coming into the Washington Nationals, and the Washington Nationals did their thing last night, and now they're bringing in Mr. Max Scherzer versus Colorado's
Johan
Flande. The Washington Nasties are minus 290, Dan. Wow.
So I will just say this right off. I'm doing this like a horse race. I just love Johan Flande's name. No. But science experiment play.
Way.
So this, guys, for those of you who aren't aware, I sometimes will make a science experiment play where I have no business laying money. I don't want anybody to follow it, but I just have a really crazy gut feeling. I gotta pop on the Rockies here at plus 240.
Oh.
Dude, hold on. Hear me out here. Hear me out. In his last 2 starts, or 7 games, because Flande was in the bullpen, he's 2-1 with a 2.18 in 20 innings, 0.97 WHIP. I mean, he's struck out 14 in 20 innings. It's not like the Nationals' offense has been crazy. Yep. And in Scherzer, his last start at home against Arizona, he looked like garbage, for him at least.
Yep.
I mean, he only lasted 6 innings. He gave 3 earned runs. He walked 3. He did strike out 9, but he gave it up where it mattered. His last 7, he's 2-3 with a 3.55.
Okay.
So at plus 240, I gotta throw like a quarter or a half unit on it just because I'll feel like an idiot if I don't.
Got it, man. And the Colorado Rockies are pesky with their bats, man. They can, put up a 5 spot on you in a blink of an eye.
That's it. They can. And the other thing, too, is the plus 1.5 is even money.
Really?
The plus 1.5 is even money.
Okay.
So you might want to look at that. But at plus 240, man, I got to rock on this.
Sounds good, Dan.
And
All right.
I'm going to go with the over 7 as well, because if the Rockies are going to win, it's going to go over 7.
All right, man. I have not seen anything that I'm feeling yet, so we'll keep it moving to the next one. We got the St. Louis Cardinals coming into the Milwaukee Brewers, and St. Louis has pretty much done their thing versus the Brewers have finally decided to cover some run lines for once. And St. Louis has John Lackey, where Milwaukee is putting Jimmy Nelson on the mound. St. Lucia is minus 148 with an under-over of 7.5 runs, Dan. Talk to me about St. Lucia here. They're going to continue to do the same thing, or are they going to let Milwaukee steal a game?
Of course, those damn dirty birds start covering run lines as soon as I stop playing them.
Of course. That's
how it is. It's just the way it's got to be, but I'm taking a money line and run line here today.
Really?
John Lackey in his last 7 starts might be 3-3. He's got a 1.85 ERA. He struck out 36 guys in 48 innings. He gave up 2 runs at KC, 1 run over 8 innings against Cincinnati, and then his last start at Cincinnati wasn't great. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned. But again, this is a veteran guy where Milwaukee has a few guys in their lineup that you just stay away from, and you should be okay. And then you have Jimmy Nelson, who has been way, way, way too good. He's due to get blown up. He's just not this good a pitcher, right? On the year, he's 9-9 with 3.57. In his last 7, he's 5-1 with a 2.01.
Oh, I know. I'm looking at him, man. He's been dope.
He's been dope, but here's the thing. I think the Cards, they're like steamrolling right now. And they're a team right now that I don't see anything really standing in their way. They will win this game. I could see it being like 3-1.
Yeah, I'm looking at Jimmy Nelson, man. In the last 3 games, he has not let up an earned run, Dan.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's way above his head. And the thing is, at Arizona, that's impressive, okay? Like Arizona, but the thing is, Arizona's either really hit or really miss.
Yep.
Then remember they caught the Cubs right before they really started going on this hot streak. So, yep. It's still a good win. But then San Diego, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here on Nelson, is that I've seen him pitch a lot.
I get it.
It's not like he's a rookie. He's still 9-9. In his MLB career, he's 11-18 with a 3.89, with a 1.28 WHIP. So, I got to think things are going to level out when he faces an offense like the Cardinals, who, will wait you out forever. They'll play hit and run. They'll bunt. They'll do everything they have to do to win the game. Well, and I think they still win by a couple or more.
Last time they played St. Lucia, man, actually when he pitched versus St. Louis, they lost the game 4-7, 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, Dan. That's Jimmy Nelson.
I just think St. Louis knows this dude very well.
Okay. All right.
And, they'll get it done. They've been on such a tear.
Yeah, definitely. Under over 7.5. That might be something I may consider an under on, Dan. I know you're saying Jimmy Nelson's going to get blown up today, but
the last line that you read to me is what scares me off the under. I kind of like it myself, but I could see Jimmy Nelson get maybe lose 6-2, 6-2.
Got it.
And then, you're screwed, or even something like, 5-3, where it's a little close. I don't know, man.
All right, I
just think the Cards own him.
All right, well, let's go to the next one here, man. But before you do that, I want to just thank everybody that's out on Twitter this morning retweeting our show. Guys, we really appreciate it. I've got the pick on here. I've got Jim Rohn as a douche, P for Prez. I've got, MG86. James Knoll is out there. Good morning to you. Got the kid picks. I got 808 Niner Nation. Got my man Christos. I got Vezi. My bad. Got Jordy Best. I got the Rec Sports Solutions. I got Shy Picks. We Are Team Canada. The hashtag We Are Team Canada. Sirach King J. What's going on, brother? How are you? Clown Man Swag. Let's see. 5-1. Yippa 82 all the way in Australia. Tanakis. My man D is out there as well. Like I said, Irvin, Carl Restivo, C. Rodriguez Jr., Las Vegas Buckeye, Tip Talker, my boy Marlon. What's up, guys? Good morning to you. Thank you very much for retweeting our show along with Heavy 365. Going to the next one here, man. Chicago White Sox at the Kansas City Royals, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
The White Sox, Kansas City's favored -135 with an under-over of 8 runs.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
I mean, look, 21 games over 500.
Dude, they how many more games they got to win to clinch the division?
They're getting close, and I remember a lot of people laughing at me when I picked Kansas City to win that division running away again this year. You got to remember the over/under number at the beginning of the year on these guys was 81. They'll break that before September, maybe.
Yeah. So will the book grade that as soon as they go over 81?
No, you're still all these bets, guys. Unfortunately, you might even have to wait to be paid out till after the World Series.
Really?
Yeah, it depends on the book rules. Certain books will pay you out right after the regular season's over.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're definitely not. I mean, unless you call them and you work something out, I don't think that you're going to get paid out. Like, if you have Kansas City over 81 and they cover that in August, maybe you call your book like, hey, it's already covered. Like, just pay me out.
Yeah.
But most of them, it's definitely at least the last day of the season, or possibly after the World Series.
Got it, man. And luckily,
so that's, you got to be aware of those rules.
Dude, Kansas City's been on a little bit of a slide, except for winning the last 2 games versus the White Sox. But dude, they're 10.5 games over the Twins in the division. Oh yeah,
I mean, with the epic collapse of the Twins and the Tigers, it's like they're just kind of coasting.
And the White Sox, for that matter.
yeah. I mean, the White Sox had that good run, and then
what a terrible division, man. My God. Oh.
It is. And everybody thought that division was going to be so dope. I remember everybody saying, Detroit's going to win it. The Indians are going to win the wild card. And, White Sox will be right there. And Kansas City will be in 4th place. And all that crazy stuff that those so-called analysts on these big market channels talk about when they don't know anything. But the Royals, look, they had if you want to call it a skid for them, they did lose 4 out of 5, but they have, they're 3-2 in their last 5. And you got a pitcher today in Duffy who at home is very, very good. You got to remember, his last home start was Houston on July 25th. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned. And even at Toronto, he got blown up a little bit for 5 earned, but then he came back in that Detroit start, went 7 innings, 5 hits, and only an earned run.
Yep.
And worked around 4 walks. His last 7, he's 3-2 with a 2.74. And Quintana, though, has been really good too, which is what scares me, right? He's 3-2 with a 2.63 in his last 7. He threw a complete game at Cleveland, shutout. 2 earned at Boston, 6 1/3, and 2 earned home against Tampa Bay last time out. I lean Kansas City, but I can't take this game.
Yeah, it's tough. You would think that they'll steal a game at some point, the Chicago White Sox. But
I think Kansas City is just such a, they're really such a better team than them. And they just always seem to get the timely hit. I mean, the White Sox, hey, look, they're putting up a fight.
Yeah.
But the thing that scares me about this is Duffy, right? It seems like sometimes he'll have good start, bad start, good start, bad start. Can he put 2 in a row today? And not to mention, I'm also wondering if Holland's available, because I think he's thrown 2 or 3 days in a row. So, when the closer's unavailable, guys, you got to look out for that too.
Sure.
The other thing, and I hate to run on this game, but Salvador Perez last year played 158 games as the catcher of the Royals.
Wow.
Which is like the most ever in the history of baseball.
Damn, that does a number on your knees, huh? My God.
Oh, it's only 4 days off all year, and like almost every catcher will not play a day game after a night game. So, you got to look at that too, especially on Sunday afternoons. A lot of starting catchers get rested, or they move into the DH role if they're good with the bat.
Yep.
So, just take a look at all that stuff, guys.
All right, my boy Marlon has taken the Royals money line. He says Quintana has never beaten the Royals in his career.
Yep.
0-6 with a 4.63 ERA in 15 all-time matchups versus the Kansas City Royals. So
yeah, I mean, it's a very strong inclination to take the Royals. It really is.
All right. For me, I'm staying away from it, guys. Good luck with that. I'm feeling a little gun-shy right now on these games. I just can't. I can't get a feel yet.
I might on the Royals run line, actually, just to lay a little less to, because if they win, I think they win by a few.
Yeah, that's my my system. As you guys know, I do all the teams on the run lines and invest the winnings into futures. That's what I do. That's part of my system plays on the side. But, for a general play here, don't like it. San Francisco at the Chicago Cubs. San Francisco, Jake Peavy. The Cubs have Jake Arrieta. Chicago minus 175. Don't have a total here yet, but Arrieta's been off the chain, Dan.
Oh, I mean, he's the man.
Yes,
he's the man. I mean, such an opposite. I'm trying to look to see what the over/under is here today because, like I did yesterday, I'll probably be taking the over. I mean,
you think so with Arrieta, huh?
Oh yeah, Peavy's getting bombed today.
Really?
Peavy is getting bombed. All right, look, the Giants rely on solid pitching for them to be successful.
Yep.
Their pitching hasn't been that good as of late. And I know everybody's looking at Peavy's last few starts like, hey, it's been good. He gave up 3 at home against Oakland. Okay, he shut out Milwaukee at home and gave up an earned run against Atlanta. Let me repeat, Oakland, Milwaukee, Atlanta. That's not, that's not an offense like the Cubs have been playing right now. And even so, in his last 8 starts, he's 2-4 with a 3.77. Arrieta has given up a couple runs on the road, but at home, I mean, he did have that bad start against Philadelphia where he gave up 3 earned. But in his last 7 overall, he's 5-1 with a 1.63.
Very good.
So I actually think the reason why I'm going to be on this over is I think it's going to be like 7.
Well, you got an under over of 7. I found it.
You found it? Is it 7?
7 runs on sportsbetterstv.com.
Over, baby.
Over, huh?
Over the 7.
You love it.
I love it. I love it. And look, hey, I know I loved 2 yesterday and went 1-1 on them. Where, hey, if someone told me that Baltimore was going to score 5 runs and, the Angels were going to get shut out by Ubaldo Jimenez on the road, hey, these things happen. But at 7 runs, I mean, these teams have just been blasting the ball. And I know Arrieta is really good, and I really like him a lot.
Yep.
But, I just think he can still get tagged for a couple runs here. But, I think that Peavy gets lit up. I see this game really getting out of hand, especially depending on the wind in Wrigley, which when I look up for you guys, I will let you know exactly what that's doing right now, which could change.
Got it. Okay, man. Looking at this, 7 runs.
That's crazy.
Oh, man, Dan, I don't know. I just see,
7 runs is nuts.
Yeah, okay.
I know you have Arrieta on the mound. I know he's been absolutely lights out.
Yeah.
I get that. And there is a 55% chance of rain, which, really works in the over favor as well. Because let's say that you get through a couple innings and it starts pouring. And both teams have to go into their bullpen. You go into long relievers. And not to mention, when it's humid in Chicago and there's no wind, I'm not seeing wind in this game right now, but when it's humid in Chicago, that ball can fly. You hit pop-ups that go over the ivy.
Got it.
Seen a couple. So I got to play that over 7.
All right, sounds good, man. We're going to the next one here. Baltimore at the LA Angels. This is sore subject here. Baltimore, Miguel Gonzalez. The LA Angels have Jared Weaver. Looking for a line here. Let me go back to Sports Bettors TV and see what I can find. I've got LA minus 122 with an under-over of anywhere from 7.5 to 8, depending on where you're playing. What do you got, Dan?
Yeah, I got 7.5 to 8, 121. So we got Miguel Gonzalez, 9-8 with a 4.32 going up against Jared Weaver, who's been deplorable. 4-8 with a 4.75.
Wow, dude. Wow.
This is kind of a sore subject, I guess, but I gotta go over here.
I know. I'm looking at the same thing here. The only issue I have with the over, I get it that the ERAs have been absolutely terrible for Gonzalez and Weaver. Weaver has got a 4.75 and Miguel Gonzalez 4.32, and both teams score over 4 runs a game. But the trends have gone under, Dan. Under in 6 of the last 7 when Baltimore has played the LA Angels. The total's gone under in 15 of the last 22 Angels games at home as well.
Yeah, I know, but you got Miguel Gonzalez, who in his last 7 is 3-4 with a 5.89 and a 1.61 whip. And you have the Angels coming off being shut out like that, and then you have Weaver, who in his last 3 starts, he's given up 4 runs each start.
Yeah.
His last 7, he's 2-4 with a 5.09. I mean, I don't get this line. That's what's bugging me.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe it's a little trap.
I stepped into the bear claw last night. Maybe I'll be doing it again, but I gotta ride that.
I think I'm with you on that, Dan. I think I'm with you. We'll have the conversation as it. It's 3:37 Eastern Standard Time start, so we got a little bit of time to talk that out, man.
Man, some books don't even have that game posted yet, which I'm a little curious about.
Got it. Yeah, sportsbetterstv.com. Just take a look at our website, guys. It'll show you the book where it is posted. We have 6 more left on the ticket. We got the Houston Astros coming into the Oakland A's, and this is strange because Michael Fiers is pitching starting for the Houston Astros, but he played reliever in his last outing and got smashed.
Yeah.
He got smashed, kid. You know what? I don't understand them putting him in for that.
Well,
but
it was just like long relief. I feel like, I don't know. It was a 12-9 game.
Yeah.
The pitcher. Remember, McCullers didn't make it out of the first inning.
Right.
So
right.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
It just is a shame that it was like basically his debut. With a new team, and that sucks for him. But look, Fiers is a professional pitcher. Obviously got banged around in that game, but he had to step into action to just after your pitcher has already been banged around. I know he gave up 6 earned runs, but these things happen. But at the same time, Chris Bassett is like an enigma to me. Dude is 1-4 with a 2.64 ERA.
Unbelievable. No run support.
No run support. His last 7, he's 1-4 with a 2.58. He struck out 26 guys in 30 innings, only walked 7. So I lean the Athletics here.
Okay.
At plus 104. And not to mention, obviously, and we've talked about it, Houston just can't win on the road.
No, man. 3-13 in their last 16 games on the road, Dan.
And Bassett has played some legit offensive teams. I mean, look, that 2.5 ERA is a legit ERA.
Yeah, right.
And even like if you want to look at it like this, if you're not really a fantasy guy, like I said, if you guys know how I play, I look at certain fantasy things with starting pitchers. Because sometimes the breakdowns are really good, and like you got to see where they rank for the day on value. And Chris Bassett is like, a lot of people are starting him today. A lot of people think he's going to dominate this Astros lineup at home. So, I think he's going to get it done.
I think I'm going to take the under in that game, Dan.
At 7.5, that's a little scary.
Okay,
but I could see it. I could definitely see it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I mean, Oakland is a pitcher's park, as we know. Michael Fiers, he's been pretty he was pretty decent for the Brewers. I mean, he did get smoked.
He was decent.
He did get knocked around in his last outing, but at the end of the day, I mean, putting him on as a starter now, I think he'll do okay, man. To be honest with you, so.
But the thing is I still could see, it getting out of control for him.
Okay.
That's the only issue. Is like I don't expect it to. I could see this game being very much, like 4-1 A's.
Got it.
4-2 A's. But, it could also get to the point where Fiers, it's 4-2 and he's trying to get through the 6th inning and he gives up like a 3-run bomb.
Astros, but they also strike out almost as much as anybody else, dude. I think they're 26th in the league in strikeouts, dude.
Yeah, they do strike out, and they're that's why the strikeouts and the road record are why they will not win a World Series this year.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Exactly.
Hey, they're a lot of fun to watch.
Definitely. All right, so the next one we have is Cincinnati at Arizona. Cincinnati, Anthony Sclafani on the mound, and Arizona has Patrick Corbin. Arizona minus 140 with an under-over of 8.5 runs, Dan.
Yeah, this is interesting. So Sclafani, 7-7 with a 3.71. Corbin 2-3 with a 3.99. I'm just staying away from this game. These are two. I got burned with Robbie Ray yesterday. I'm just not going to set myself up for that again. I really do think that Corbin gets the win here.
Okay.
And, the Diamondbacks get it done. But just not doing it.
You know what? I like the Diamondbacks in this spot, Dan.
I know.
I like them a lot. Cincinnati's been very, very pesky as of late, man. I get it, but they're 2-4 in the last 6 games. Arizona, man, dude, they can't. It's like they're 500. Being 500 is like Raid. The bug spray. It's like they get to it, like they inch up to it. It's like almost like an electric fence for a dog. Like they could go right up to the line, and then they got to fall back. You know what I mean? They can't peak over 500.
It's hilarious you say it, because I was going to say the same thing. It's like I'll be watching MLB Network and they'll be showing the wild card standings, and as soon as you see the Diamondbacks creep into the bottom of that discussion, all of a sudden they lose like 3 or 4 in a row. It's like what's going on?
It's crazy.
But that's why I'm just not confident enough in them to take this. I'm just gonna leave it alone. They're back to 3 games under. They need to go on a big winning streak, which I just don't think they have it in them. I'm just shook on them, so I'm going to stay away.
All right. Well, I'm feeling the Arizona Diamondbacks. I think I might do them with a Max Scherzer parlay, Dan. That's something I might take a look at, a money line parlay.
That.
No?
Scherzer's going down today, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, the Nasties are losing today.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the next one. We got the Philadelphia Phillies, man, going into the San Diego Padres. Let's see, and the Padres are pretty heavily favored, minus 180 with an under-over of 7.5. We did talk about it on the show yesterday. They had no business giving minus 200 juice to anybody, let alone the Phillies, who are 15-5 in their last 20 games, and 6-1 in the last 7 on the road as well. When I look at this, man, Dan, how many more wins do I need to win our bet?
To clinch, you need 29 wins.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, because the Phillies are 44-67. To get to 96, That'd be 96 losses. Sorry, 44. So that's 100. No, you need. So yeah, because 29 would get me to the win. So 27. So if you have 27 losses or less, I've been counting losses, of course. 27 losses or less, and you win. 28 and we push.
Okay,
29 and I win.
Got it. All right. Sounds good, man. 162 game season, and we got let's see, they're into
I'm gonna
this.
Have to take him today with Jerome Williams.
They're into they're into this for 111 games so far, man. So all right, what do you got here, dude?
Dude, I got Jerome freaking Williams starting for Philadelphia, who's 3-8 with a 6.09. Wonderful. And then he's going up against Cashner, who 4-11 with a 4.08. Unbelievable the Padres didn't even trade him when it's unbelievable he was, even wanted, so sought after. He hasn't been great. But, dude, Jerome Williams actually is coming off that miracle game against the Dodgers at home, 5 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned.
Yep.
Again, just because I hate the Padres and I can't see them giving 180 juice, I'm gonna roll this Phillies team at plus 159.
Really?
Man, 14-5 since the All-Star break. The Padres look like they've just given up.
Yeah, I see that, man. 0-5 in their last 5 games. I hear you.
And it's not like there's a huge Jerome Williams, especially for us on the East Coast that have had the privilege to watch him. I mean, he's been, putrid, but Cashner hasn't been that good either. There's a two-run difference in ERA, but over their last, 5 or 6 starts, the ERA starts to equal out, and Cashner is, he does only have like 4 wins, right? So, he's 4-11.
Yeah, good point.
So it's not like he's 11-4 here, and I'm going crazy, but he's 4-11, and Williams is 3-8. So technically, if Williams wins this game and pitches well, he'd be considered the better pitcher than Cashner right now at this point.
My boy Doc calls him Trashner.
Yeah, I mean he is. And I know I use the term a lot, but he is a pile of.
All right. Sounds good, man. All right, so let's go over to the next game. We got Texas at Seattle. Kid, how about the Texas Rangers in like the top of the 11th scoring 8 runs, dude? It went bananas, dude. I was loving it, man, because I had them on the run line, and I was like screaming because I'm like, it's going to be a 1-run game. I'm screwed. It's going to be a 1-run game. I'm screwed. And sure enough, dude, Texas went absolutely ham and went crazy. Dude, the Texas Rangers, man, watch out. Watch out, dude.
Oh, I know.
Watch out.
I know. No,
1 game over 500, man.
Like I said, I think they're going to be a problem to some teams. They're not going to sneak into the playoffs, though.
They're not going to sneak into the playoffs.
They will not. I reiterate that. They will not. And, I'm going to pair this with something, and I haven't figured out exactly what yet. But I'm going to pair the Mariners,
with King Felix?
Yeah, I got to. I mean,
Ooh.
Felix, in his last 2 starts against Arizona at home and at Colorado was bad.
Yes.
He had that good start against Toronto. Colby Lewis also got destroyed by Houston his last time out at home.
Okay.
So, that almost never happens, as we were just talking about what the Astros do on the road, which is almost nothing. This is the crazy thing to me. Colby Lewis in his last 7 is 5-1, but with a 5.93 ERA.
Okay.
And King Felix is 3-2 with a 2.91 ERA. And again, King Felix, much like us, some of the other elite guys, has more strikeouts than innings pitched. 48 strikeouts and 140 strikeouts and 143 innings pitched. So he might have that solved by the end of the day. But in his last 7, he's been even better. It's just the Seattle offense. I mean, I feel like Colby Lewis should get rocked, but minus 172, I'll pair it with something if I find something I really like. But I can't do it at 172 by itself, but I think Seattle does win.
All right. Maybe you get a -1, and that'll get you around even money, something like that. But when you look at this, man, dude, the Texas Rangers, Dan, they're only 3 games out of the wild card and 4.5 games out of the division lead.
Yep. That they are.
All right. Dude, that's a series. That's one series. That's a series. So
and
I mean, they just swept the Astros.
No, I know, and they definitely have, potential. I just still think that Houston's on a long road swing now, and then you have to realize they're coming home, and their first 6 home games are against Detroit and Tampa Bay.
Oh God, they should win all those.
So I mean, and they might not even have to face Archer or Carnes because Carnes obviously yesterday, Archer today. So going to that series, I don't know, man. I mean, they have to go play 2 at San Francisco, which should be interesting because they'll have, they won't be able to use a DH.
Yep.
So that should do some things to the lineup. But then, yeah, I feel like they should come home and at least win 4 out of 6 against the Tigers and the Rays. And the Rangers schedule, of course, I mean, they're going to have to play Houston again. They're going to have to play the Angels. Right now they're playing the Mariners, which is kind of like, hey, let's kick back. Then they have the Twins on the road, and then the Rays and the Mariners again. So the Rangers schedule is pretty favorable. I don't know, man. I still think Houston and the Angels are a better overall team. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna say it's gonna be interesting down the stretch.
Definitely. Well, if there's any like outside looking in underdog shot to really make some noise, it's definitely them. By any means. Because, I mean, Baltimore, you can't really consider them that much of an underdog. I mean, I know Texas's odds are a lot greater. They're actually above Minnesota in the wild card race, dude. You know what? And, I can't see the White Sox, Detroit. Maybe the White Sox can, put together a run. But I think Texas is the best to, make some noise if an underdog is going to emerge. Because, dude, there's been a lot of years. I mean, look at Kansas City at the end of July last year. They were, what, a 500 team?
Yeah.
Something like that. So, guys, just remember that. And this is a 1 game above 500 team that's only 3 games out of the wild card, man. And if they get those let's say they get into the wild card, Dan, and they get those bats going, they're a pain in the ass, man. I'm telling you.
I know, but the thing is like, here's my feeling: is even if they get into a wild card, let's say even if they have Hamels going, I don't trust Hamels as far as I can throw.
Yeah, I get it. All right, we'll keep it moving here.
I just don't think they have the pitching.
My boy TK is feeling the under in this game, under 7. Good luck with you on that one, brother. I think I'm going to stay away from it, just because the Texas bats at some point, man. You saw them what they did last night, so we'll keep it moving. We got 2 more on the ticket. We have another sore subject, man. The Miami Marlins at the Atlanta Braves. Kid, I stayed away from that. I ended up, you know what? So, guys, it's not my fault that lost, by the way. Let's see. Miami, Brad Hand on the mound, and Atlanta has Shelby Miller. Atlanta minus 134 with an under-over of 7.5 runs, Dan. Both of these teams have really pitiful records, man. My God.
I just got to stay away from this.
Yeah, you want to just keep it moving?
Yeah, I mean, look, Hand is 1-2 with a 4.71 for Miami. Shelby Miller is 5-8, but with a 2.44, which just shows how pathetic.
Yes.
The Braves have been. Shelby Miller hasn't been. I mean, his last 7, he's 0-5 with a 3.59. So, he can't buy a win. Part of me in his 1 start and his bullpen appearances is Brad Hand in his last 7 games. Throwing only 10 innings, but he's got a .84 ERA. He only gave him 1 earned run, 9 hits, 6 strikeouts. Let's just keep it moving.
Yeah, we got to keep it moving. Miami has one of the worst road records in the league, Dan. I don't know if you have that pulled up, but it's really, really bad, guys. So keep that in the back of your brains, man. They're 0-5 in their last 5 games and 0-5 in their last 5 on the road as well. Let's go to Sunday Night Baseball. That is the NFL game tonight, Dan?
Yes.
So it's going to be competing with that, with preseason football. We got the LA Dodgers coming into the Pittsburgh Pirates. LA has
crazy because it's Pittsburgh playing tonight.
I know. LA has Alex Wood on the mound. I believe he's making his 2nd start for them. In Pittsburgh, Charlie Morton, LA minus 108, slightly favored with an under-over of 8. Dan.
Yeah.
The Dodgers. The Dodgers. I don't know what to make of this team, dude.
I don't like them.
I know you don't.
I haven't liked them all year. I didn't like them last year. I kind of felt like, that's why I picked the, a terrible pick in the Padres, obviously, but I thought someone would step up and challenge them. I didn't think it would be the Giants, and the Giants, I don't really love them either lately. This is a hard game because are the Dodgers really going to lose another one in a row?
I don't know.
And Alex Wood for the Dodgers, his last start out was at Philadelphia. He went 6 1/3. He gave 8 hits and 4 earned.
Right.
And Charlie Morton, I mean, his last start at Cincinnati, 7 innings, 5 hits, no earned. His last 3 starts have been on the road. I'm trying to see what his home starts have looked like. I mean, he's been relatively mediocre. His last 4 starts have all been on the road, but his home starts, it looks like, have been actually pretty good. So I want to go with the Dodgers here because I just can't see them losing this game. But something is just screaming at me to stop. So for right now, I'm going to wait and see what the lineup looks like when it comes out and everything like that. Sure. I'm going to wait till the day games are done.
Sure.
I probably won't play this.
Yeah, you know what? Don't force it either. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course not. Of course not. I'm not going to force it, but I just, like we've been saying all year, man, this Dodgers team just lacks something. There's some teams out there that if they're down a run in the 6th or 7th inning, you're not panicking yet. You're like, all right, they just, a couple hits.
Yep.
Dodgers, I feel like, even if they get those couple hits and they tie the game, they have a bullpen guy that blows it, or something like that. They just, against good teams. Look, they beat up on the weaker teams, which you got to do.
Yep.
But there's something about this that is screaming to me that they're losing this game.
Got it. Okay, man. I mean, Pittsburgh is pretty tough at home, so we got to keep that in the back of our brains while we're betting. So, all right, Dan, that's pretty much going to do it. Great show, man. Great information. As always, love what you got to say on the weekends with the biggest show in the world. So, I'm looking at this, and I just watched Washington pop up to minus 300 now, Dan.
I know.
Oh, man, and I just saw...
That's why I gotta go Colorado.
And I just saw Arizona pop down to minus 134.
Yeah. I mean, Colorado's released their... And guys, Colorado's released their lineup. They have pretty much everybody going. It looks like Washington has pretty much everybody going. They'll have Ramos behind the dish. Look, hey, this is a science experiment play for me. Do whatever you want to do. Do what you feel is right, but I got to do it.
Wow. All right, man. So I am looking at it here so far, guys. During the day, I like Washington. Obviously, I'm not going to lay 300 juice with them. I'd pair it with something. If I'm looking at it right now, let me just see what I have. One book has minus 270, so that kind of helps me out a little bit with that. And another one is minus 300, so obviously I'll go play it where it's minus 270. I'll probably end up pairing that with the Arizona Diamondbacks. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing today. I don't know for sure, but I'll put my play out later on, and we will go from there. Dan, what are you on?
I am on everything. No, I'm going to grab the Giants Cubs. It's now down to 7. I'm going to get the over on that.
Okay.
Baltimore Angels over 7.5. Phillies at plus 159. Athletics at plus 104. Royals on the run line at plus 160. Cards at minus 138. Colorado Rockies at plus 250.
Wow.
The over of 7 on the Rockies Nats game. The Twinkies at plus 150. And the Blue Jays Yankees over 8.5, as well as the Blue Jays money line at plus 120. So, dog day afternoon for me. Do your own thing, guys. I'm feeling my plays today, so we'll see what happens.
Wow, man, that's a lot of underdogs, Dan. I mean, if you hit all those, you'll be laughing.
I will be laughing. I'm putting $1 on a parlay of all of them to pay out $5,677.
All right, guys. I did find, if you go on sportsbetterstv.com, there is a book that actually has an arbitrage going. It's not that much, but you have Philadelphia plus 158 and San Diego minus 156. You ain't going to really make much money on that arbitrage. It's not that big. So, we'll go from there. But anyway, guys, we are Sports Bettors TV. We are the biggest show in the world, 7 days a week, having a ball, man. So go out there, Go easy. Do your own homework, bet your own plays, make all your dreams a reality, enjoy your Sunday, and get that money. Take care.
Peace.